Hello, everyone, and welcome to Early Learning Ventures Family Engagement Fridays. Our guest today is Celicia Coniff, who is a parent educator with the Parents as Teachers program in Mesa County. Celicia will be discussing parenting around development. Welcome, Celicia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Well, I'm just going to let you take it away since this is an area that you have lots of knowledge about, so we're anxious to hear about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. So today we're going to talk about parenting around development. So I'm going to talk about 7 different areas. And we're going to start out by saying your child grows and develops, obviously, as they grow and develop. And when they do that, their needs change. So when their needs change, it's really important to understand that these changes are very important. And especially your role in parenting is equally as important. So the first area we're going to talk about is attachment. So when you think of attachment, you think of, oh, my baby is attached to my hip. But really, it's really the relationship with your child. And it's a key component to healthy growth and development. It shapes the connection in their brain for language, thinking, movement, and emotions. As your child gets older, they need to form supporting relationships with other adults. And that can be any adult in your friend group, your family circle, as well as teachers and neighbors. Um, Anyone that is in that social circle that you feel comfortable having or letting your child have that relationship with. And it's super important that they have those relationships with people outside of their home. Second, we're going to talk about discipline. So discipline is not punishment. It's quite opposite. Discipline is teaching. So discipline is patiently teaching and guiding. So think about what your child can understand now. And like we said, this will change with growth and development. So something that works now or as a toddler might not work when they're obviously like 14. So that's where that parenting around development in the discipline area kind of comes into play. Is we also have to grow as our children grow, especially in that discipline area. Health is the third one. Obviously, your child's health is important, right? It's their key foundation now and for the future. How you take care of yourself before you become pregnant and during pregnancy makes a difference in the health of your child. So that means going to your prenatal doctor's appointments, taking those prenatal vitamins, making sure you're not taking medicines or eating food that can hurt that fetus. And also talking to your doctor and being super, super open about anything that you are consuming. And that could be substances that might not be legal. It could be supplements from Vitamin Cottage. It could be whatever these things are, really knowing what is healthy for you and your child. And that is so important to talk to your doctor about. So more and more studies are linking early experiences to adult health. So that's like having a active lifestyle and eating healthy, which brings us to our next topic is nutrition. Food obviously is delicious, but it also gives you and your child nutrients, and nutrients for them to stay healthy and to grow. A typical baby weight triples in the first year, which was a crazy number. I didn't even think of that, but once you really think of newborn weight to a 1-year-old weight, that's pretty on par, right? Their brain develops an amazing number of connections. And to do that, your child needs proper balance of fats, protein, carbs, vitamins, and minerals, support all that growth. So it doesn't matter if you're vegan, if you're plant-based, if you're keto, if you're whatever your diet looks like for you and your family, as long as they're getting those key nutrients, they're going to be fine. And their brain is going to develop immensely. Next, we're going to talk about safety a little bit. Your child does not recognize the dangers inside and outside of your home, obviously. That's part of the parenting that we do every single day. 1 billion times a day is think about safety and remind our children what is safe and what is not. But you can create a safe and nurturing environment for them. And you also have to modify that as they grow as well. So a 14-year-old doesn't need a cover for the outlet, right? But a newborn to toddler will. Um, you're going to modify it for wherever they are in development. So let's say developmentally your child's 2 years old, they could be physically older than that, but we need to keep that in mind of, oh, they really are cognitively only 2 years old. We need to keep those light socket switch covers in until we feel comfortable to take them out. And that could be in a few years, that could be in a few days. It's wherever your child is developmentally. Really think through the safety aspects. So keep in mind that as they grow, what are they able to do? Keep that in your pocket. Ask yourself, what are they able to do? So is it going to be practical to put a lock on the fridge when you have a newborn? Probably not, because they're not able to open the garage or the fridge, sorry. But when they are 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, they are able to open the fridge. And is that going to be a safe thing for them to do? So just keep that in your back pocket. Really think to yourself, are they able to do this? What are they able to do? Because that could give parents a lot of anxiety around safety, where you think you have to fully baby-proof the house before the baby's born. But in all reality, it could wait a few years for that fridge lock because they're not able to open that fridge. The next we're going to talk about is sleep. The right amount of sleep is important for overall health. And I think that most adults know that, right? It is connected to attention, safety, hunger, weight, mood, behavior, all of it. Our sleep is the number one most important thing other than nutrition, right? And it's especially important to your child's learning. And something to keep in mind with sleep is a newborn may sleep 20 hours a day as a toddler sleeps about 12. And not all of those 20 hours or 12 hours are going to be night. It could be for a toddler, let's say 10 hours at night and 2 hours during the day. And everyone's nap schedule is going to look different. So they might go to sleep for 2 hours after lunch, and that's all they need, and they're great. Some kids might need an hour before lunch, or during the earlier morning, and an hour before dinner. As long as they're getting that recommended hours of sleep. And there's many charts online. I think Mayo Clinic has one even on the amount of hours that your child needs for their age. And yeah, it's the next, we're going to talk about transition and routines, and that really directly relates to sleep as well. Routines help your child learn trust in their world. So routines and transitions change as your child grows. So chaos and inconsistency can cause stress, and this may upset your child, and stress can also interfere with brain development. So when we talk about transition or routines with our families, one of my examples is a transition. So not a lot of parents think about transitions. Transitions are when you get up in the morning and you go to work, when you come home during the day, or for lunch or for the night. Those are transitions. They're transitioning from one parent to, or from two parents to one parent, or from two parents to a babysitter or daycare, or whatever that may look for your family. But that is a transition. So it's really, really, really important to keep those transitions the same every single time. So if you pack your lunch, give your baby a kiss, and then leave, that's what you should do every single day. Obviously, there's going to be times where you have to take a detour and get gas, or, run to the grocery store and get cupcakes because you forgot about the school party or whatnot. And those things happen. But for the most part, let's say 85% of the time, let's try to make those transitions the same so that your child knows what is coming up. A lot of behaviors are because of basically being scared, like in layman's terms. And we We want our children to feel safe and confident that they know what's coming up. And if your child knows what's going to happen, there's less likely behaviors. And then obviously less stress, and then less stress equals better brain development. So transitions and routines really help build resiliency and prepare your child for life experiences. So you go every single day, you pack your lunch, you give your kid a kiss, and then you leave. Well, one day you have to take him with you and you run to the store, and then you go to work, and then you have to drop him off at daycare. And that teaches them to be accepting of changes. And that's huge in this day and age because we have so many changes that we go through every single day. And routines. So routines, the two I harp on the most are food routines. So and bedtime routine. So food routine is make sure you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner about the same time every single day. Again, that way your child knows that their routine or their nutritional needs will be met, and they're not panicking on when's my next meal. And then bedtime routine. So a perfect bedtime routine for a toddler, in my eyes, would be dinner time. That's when you start the wind down period. After dinner, you have a transition period. So that can look like they are playing with the other parent while you're cleaning up dinner. And then you can go into a bath time routine, which is a routine all in itself, and then have a nice, quiet calm down where you read a book or you meditate or you do yoga with your kids, whatever you want to do to calm, and then bedtime. And that is like a perfect routine. And it sounds like it comes from a fairy tale, but I promise you it's super easy. And especially if you do it every single night, it will help with those bedtime stressors where maybe your child is getting up every single time you try to put them and you know to bed, and then they keep getting up and you keep putting them down. Well, if they know that every night after my 5 pages of a book I go to bed, it really does help them with that sleeping transition. So those are my my topics that I wanted to talk about. Obviously in Parents as Teachers we go over them more in depth. But yeah, that was just kind of a little piece I wanted to give you.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Celicia. Can you tell me briefly about Parents as Teachers and how if families that are not in Mesa County are interested in participating with Parents as Teachers, how that could happen?
You go to parentsasteachers.org, and they do have a area where you can find a parent educator close to you.
Great. Well, we'll make sure we post that along with your podcast. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
That's it. I just thank you for having me again.
Well, thank you so very much. And it was great information, and we appreciate you taking the time to share with us. You have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.